So a guy, I don't know if he was like somewhere in the Russian area. He kept on standing up. I gave them instructions, by the way. So like at the beginning of the tour, I'm like, this is how this is gonna work, blah blah, like the stops and don't take the seats of somebody else, things like that, you know. And then I say, and for your safety, don't stand up while the bus is moving, you know, or don't try to walk on the hallway of the bus while the bus is moving. Dude, at some point, we're going towards the natural bridge, and there's these like the volcanic rocks, right, to the side, and he stands up to take pictures and all of that. And I look at the mirror, and he's standing, and I'm like, all right. I stopped for like a minute, but he was still there, like just standing and kind of recording or something like that, because it was too long for pictures. You know, you don't do this and take the same picture, right? So
Yeah.
it had to be video. And I'm like, all right, I need to keep moving. And I'm like, all right, sir, take a seat. Nothing. I'm like, sir, take a seat, like louder. Nothing. And I'm like, all right, you need to be like, you know, I needed to put some order or whatever. Nothing. No. Then he was like, yeah, just a second. I'm like, no, you gotta sit down. And people started like, sit down. And
Today?
yeah, like getting crazy.
I didn't think Natural Bridge was on the...
Yeah, it wasn't on the list. And then it turns out it was.
Oh, so they just left it off.
Yeah. So on my schedule, the Natural Bridge wasn't on there. But when I started getting the tickets, it said this place, and then bridge. And I'm like, what? And so I asked.
Good thing you looked.
Yeah. And so that happened.
And welcome back to Tourist and the Tour Guide. I'm your host, Brooklyn Valenzuela. And I have with me my bestest friend, the love of my life, the bestest tour guide in the whole wild world, Luis Valenzuela.
Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm always good. Yes. So that happened at work. And as we are here to tell you a bit about the world out there, the world of tourism. Yeah, that happened today. But before, we got to start this with a quiz. You know, we still got to learn about Aruba. One episode at a time. So you guys can learn about Aruba too. And this is going to be a little quiz. A fun little quiz that I have written right here.
Mm-hmm.
And A or B in Papiamento.
Okay.
Papiamento is the native language on the island. By the way, if you were on the bus today on the tour, welcome back. And so the quiz. Food. Yum, yum, yum. Is cuminda or caminda? Food to eat. Is it empapiamento? Cuminda or caminda?
Caminda.
Wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's cuminda. That is food. Caminda is like the road.
Oh.
very similar. So it was a fun one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just, but good thing you didn't see the answer. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what happened at work today on the field, in the land of tourism. And today I want to talk about and tell you about the fact that it rained. Right?
What does that mean?
It rained.
I mean, what does it
of
mean
water.
for tourism?
Drops of water came from the heavens. And did it rain here?
No, it rained last night, but it didn't.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
So it rained only by when we were close to Arashi Beach and the lighthouse, the California lighthouse. It rained a little bit. I actually have a video right here. So I'm gonna, let me see if Lotto lets me click on this thing. So this is today on the road right before it started to rain. This is by the Malmok area.
Yep.
So we were at the lighthouse, Arashi actually, coming towards the Palm Beach area, the high-rise hotel area. And it started to rain suddenly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to kind of talk about this because people always ask, and they have an impression of Aruba that it never rains, right? Every marketing out there is like, oh, the island where it never rains and all that. And people get surprised when it rains here, right? And so even it is, I wanted to talk about this because even on my tour, I do go through a part where I explain the rainy season on the island. We kind of joke about it, saying that we have different seasons and you end up saying that it's just summer here and things like that. But we do have a rainy season, right? And it's like October, November till like maybe January, sometimes February.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. That is when it actually rains here on the island.
Like
But then,
flooding amount of rain.
yeah, so that is the thing. So I usually continue saying that even though it rains during those 4 months, it's not that much. It's only a couple of inches per year. And whenever it rains, it's like 5 minutes and it's gone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which right here, I think it was like 5 minutes. But we're not in the rainy season.
No.
So it's not supposed to rain. Technically, right? And so when people get here and they get here, when they get here and they get here, when they get here and they get this, they're like, oh, I thought it never rained in Aruba. I'm kind of tired of saying that because
Yeah.
it does rain. And it rains more than we let it out to be.
It's fairly often, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised the first time because, like, when I moved here, it actually wasn't very rainy
Yeah.
for a while. And then it started raining a lot more. And since then, I feel like it hasn't really
Stop.
stopped for a super long amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a month we went without rain.
And then it rains again.
And then it just comes up again, and not as bad as like when we had a big flooding area.
Yeah.
We did have that like crazy rain, but I think
Even
it's
the front yard flooded.
Yeah.
completely and everything. So I actually had to bucket.
bucket
the
the
water
water
out.
out of our yard.
So yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I want this place to be like the realness. So, because when I was thinking about this, bring this forth to you, which you are the OG tourist. You know, you're like now the mediator between tourism, the tourist visiting the island,
Mm-hmm.
and now as a wife, as a local, you're like, like in between. Like you're the one that puts the hammer down.
Yes.
You know, and I am kind of tired of saying, first of all, like, oh, it never rains, and it's kind of this gimmicky thing that we tend to tell the tourists, even out there. So in like blogs or whatever, websites, we're very behind on websites here on the island, so that's why I call them blogs.
Mm-hmm.
Not VLOG, but BLOG, which if you're young, you have no idea what that is. I am Denali, and I know what a blog is. You should read mine. So, yeah, but I think I've been having this sentiment for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, obviously, Aruba lives off of tourism, right? And I understand you gotta do the marketing because we live off of that. We need people to come and visit the island. And we tend to kind of borderline embellish. Obviously, all marketing is that, to be honest. Anything they sell you, any marketing out there is gonna be to sound like, oh my God, I understand. But it does rain.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going a little bit, it's borderline being a bit of a suck up to get more people to just do it, and then, no, but this is when they get here, it's just liquid sunshine and blah, blah. No, just say that it rains. It might rain.
Yeah,
It doesn't rain much.
I think it ruins trust a little bit.
Yeah.
With tourists, because like if you look it up, like, okay, when is the rainy season? There is some information online that, okay, you're more likely to get this amount of rain in November, for instance. But it is like the island with no weather, or the island with no seasons, or it's very warm it's 80 all the time, is what they say.
Yeah.
For the Americans, because that's Fahrenheit. It's 30 all the time for the Celsius. And it is, like, even in the rain, it's still warm. But I think it's deceiving to say it never rains, and then people get here.
And
they're like,
rains.
oh, planning weddings and stuff. And they're like, yeah, I'm not going to have rain on my wedding. And then it rains on their wedding. Like, I don't mind the rain. But some people are expecting this perfect sunshine 24/7.
And it is not. Which it is. That's another thing that I want to talk about. So, but let me finish this idea first, this sentiment first. When I say, like, it's borderline kind of suck up, what I mean is, as locals, sometimes I feel, and the higher up, so like websites out there, I'm not gonna go specific on that, but websites that do the marketing for Aruba, I think we're borderline scared of pushing people away just by saying that it does rain from time to time. You know what I mean? And I don't think it should be like that. Like, dude, calm down. Like, it is the only thing that we have, tourism. I understand that. But people like coming here for many different reasons. Like, you don't need to be all like, oh, it shows you kind of like, oh, you're scared to scare people away, and it makes people not believe you that much, and it kind of takes you into
enough.
Yeah, it makes tour guides and people who promote this idea of it never rains in Aruba seem a little bit fake, because you're like, oh, trying to cater too much. Like,
Yeah, you can't cater the weather.
You cannot say anything wrong because you're gonna scare the tourist away, and that shouldn't be.
Well, the issue with that is that, okay, let's say there is a tourist out there that the fear of it raining at some point on their vacation, that ruins it for them. They don't want to come here. How much worse is it going to be if they think, oh, it doesn't rain here? They come and it rains.
Yeah.
And then they spend money and they're going to be really mad.
Yep.
You know? So I think it's better to be just upfront about it.
And it's not that bad.
Most places have weather, like 5 minutes of rain is not going to ruin your vacation, I promise. It might be a little cloudier than you expected.
That was JP, by the way.
JP.
He did this. Sup, JP. And yeah, I think you're right. And so that is from the side of the locals. Like, we gotta tone it down. People like coming to Aruba. It's fine. It's a very nice place to be. When it rains, here and there, it rains, like you see, for a few minutes. But it rains more than we let it out to be.
Yeah.
Right? On the other hand, I also have something to say to the people who come here and they're like, oh, it's rainy. Dude, you're on vacation. Calm down. Like, you're mostly at the beach, in the water.
That is way warmer than...
Like, you're wet. It's just rain. Like, have fun. Dance in the rain. I don't know. And plus, because it's so hot here, think about it. Like, oh...
It cools it off a bit.
Think about for a second that wherever you're visiting, there are locals there that are under the sun every day. When you see rain, don't be like, oh, I paid for vacation and blah. No. Oh, it's nice that the locals that have so much sun and heat can get a little bit of rain. Like, just... And it's not scary.
And the, like, trees and all the plants and everything needs water. Every place needs rain. If you're thinking it's like a humid place and everything, you still need rain. Yes. Like Florida rains. Everywhere rains, I think.
And I wanted to get that off my chest. I've been thinking about it. Mainly because I am, as a tour guide, I am trying to be as real as possible. And these little things... Like, there's no need to be like, oh, it never rains. It never rains in Aruba. It does. Calm down. It's fine. People are still going to come to Aruba. Because it's a beautiful place. I built most of the buildings. That's what I tell everybody. We let people cross at the crosswalk.
If we like them.
No.
Kidding.
No. People will stop for you at the crossing thingies there. So that was today. It was pretty cloudy. It was nice.
Yeah. I will say the thing about hurricanes is true, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. You're so
We should
smart.
bring up the weather that is true. We are outside of the hurricane belt. So there is no hurricanes in Aruba at all.
At all.
So there are these rainstorms that come through when it's hurricane season. But
Yeah.
it's not, we don't get the hurricanes
No.
at all. Which is lovely.
It is lovely. We
It's
don't
very
have to
nice.
really worry about anything.
I think that's one of the first things I was looking up when I first visited here. How many years ago?
2
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I was like, is it 3 or 2? Yeah, 2 years ago is when I was looking it up. My mom was like, does it have hurricanes? Is it going to be during hurricane season? And it was during hurricane season when I was coming, but there were no hurricanes because it's Aruba.
Yep.
And that is a true blessing because it's such a tiny island that
Yeah.
I think everybody would be impacted if there was hurricanes.
Especially Denali. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the weather here since it rained today. This is actually footage from today. The tour that I did today.
Guys, I'm not trained. I can't run that far.
Well, my friends, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We also do Tourist versus the Tour Guide, which is the show when we compete against each other in little challenges and quizzes about Aruba, like when we started this episode. Learning about Papiamento, learning about history of Aruba, and we just go ahead against each other. This was Tourist and the Tour Guide, where we just sit and I tell my wife about my work day, what I encounter out there in the world with the tourists and tourism itself. I think the more people like these type of stories, the more in-depth we can go with the realities that go behind the scenes of tourism. So more support means that we are able to share more and more drama, because there is a lot of that in tourism. I will leave it at that for now.
And if you would like to participate in Tourist versus the Tour Guide, you can find that where?
ArubaTNTG.com. ArubaTNTG.com. TNTG is Tourist and Tour Guide. So the name.
And you can fill out the form there to request
Yeah.
to participate and challenge your tour guide.
Exactly. And we offer, if you win for some reason, we offer some discounts, or we take you out to dinner if you win something, win something nice. Something like that.
Various different prizes and opportunities to be featured. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, or you'd like to meet some locals on the island and hang out.
Us?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And some local dogs.
This is Denali. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, bye.